Last vid did pretty well, let's run it back. Okay, so the scene starts off with 4 kids running away from a monster in the woods. Couldn't even catch a break within the first 2 seconds of the movie. Spawn camped off the jump. What more do you want from me? But we find out these 4 kids are Grover, Annabeth, Luke, the soon-to-be lightning thief, and Talia, the daughter of Zeus. So he practically got a squad of 99 rated and Grover, as he ends up injuring his leg on a tree falling on him. There's always gotta be a weak link. So because of this, Talia says she's gonna hold off the monsters while they run away, and hey, she is low-key frying them. We've whole Achilles gone. She tries to run over back to the squad just to get grabbed and
get the fuck out of here, little nigga.
And all this scene showed me right here is that these monsters were doing this for nothing but pure love of the game. Cause as we can analyze from this, he ain't even trying to eat her. He didn't try to hit her with the weapon in his hand. He didn't even try to throw the lob to his man's overhead to finish her off. All he did was throw her back as hard as he could into the frog, just so he could cause any hope these 3 had to disappear. I swear, cause we don't even see them attack again. They just stand there for a couple minutes hitting the flighty mode. But anyway, since this is Zeus's daughter, he couldn't let her just go outside like that, so he decides to make her into a tree that creates a barrier around Camp Half-Bloods, keeping them all safe from anything that wants to violate them. But little TJ and Fabio foreign over here tweaking. Heard they were selling free relevancy inside the camp. They couldn't hold themselves back. So Grover, Luke, and Annabeth make it to Camp Half-Blood, and this is where we fast forward to present day as Percy is racing Clarise in a parkour race to get to the top first. Got Grover over here betting his whole mortgage on Percy in 5. Gonna be looking like these in 2 weeks. I told you not to bet it all on black. Her Nikkei 31 time was over here talking about that's a great idea. You stupid. But Percy ends up making it to the top just for him to peep Brody at the bottom getting dragged like the ninja meme, and decides to hit the Lightning McQueen jumping down to help him out, just for him to get hit off the platform and Clarise winning the match. Got her over here celebrating like she just won the NBA finals, acting like she wasn't gonna lose 2 seconds before. Got Grover over here tweaking. Bro sold the parlay for no reason. I know you effing lie. And she gon' pull up on bro, calling him a one-hit wonder. After that first quest in the last movie, bro's been a straight bum. He even got demoted to cleaning duty after the event finished by himself with no music. Top 5 worst things to do. But after finishing, he tries to talk to his dad just to get completely ignored. Was out there speaking to himself for a good 30 minutes. Whole time his controller was mudded. Poured out his heart to absolutely nobody. But we got to Chiron and Mr. D talking to some random person claiming to be the son of Poseidon, as Percy gets summoned, and we find out he not only has a brother, but his brother's a cyclops with freeform dreads. Got his locks flowing in the wind like these. He just like me for real. But he goes to eat lunch with them, and this is just plain racism at this point. Got everyone looking at him crazy. The friendly fire is insane, cause my brother, what are you turned around for? I ain't never seen this much pure disgust on someone's face before. What in the reverse technique is going on right now? And he's on a table full of the snow. I know Dr. Uma watching this right now in straight disappointment. I ain't gonna lie, I have no idea why everyone, including Percy, is being so mean to bro. Grover is the only person that looks like he's not trying to come up with a new racial slur to call bro. But Tyson decides to slap on some shades after being ridiculed and starts to say it smells like bull as the barrier around the school breaks and a metal ball charges through. Got everyone in straight shock except from Brody over here cosplaying Phase Rock. But then you hit the dash with the bull straight violating people, and they gon' beat up a flamethrower setting the whole area on fire. Got Percy over here grabbing a red banner to distract it, thinking he gon' hit one of these. You're not that guy, bro. Trust me.
You're not that guy.
And I don't even know what Annabeth was thinking, over here trying to put a wooden spear in a metal machine that shoots fire. The daughter of the goddess of wisdom and battle strategy, by the way. So it starts chasing her around. Clarise jumps onto it trying to compete in the national bull riding tournament just to get flung off it, with it charging towards her, and blocked by Tyson as he holds the bull back, tanking a flamethrower to the face. He's already the GOAT. That was the last thing Percy expected. Thought his brother was a bum. Whole time he's putting up better stats than him. Bro's out there running straight cardio at this point, trying to hit it with a chain just to get dragged along instead. This is trash. He gets thrown into a wall with the bull pulling up to give him a new fade. I don't wanna cut. as he throws the pen into his mouth, unlocking the sword, causing the bolt to malfunction, blowing himself up, and Percy hitting his Power Rangers ass dive after the explosion. Got him out here hitting the T-pose. My dog, this is not aura. But as the rubble starts to fade, Luke makes his appearance. After being flung into the ocean last movie, he got straight to paddling and made it out alive. Got him over here telling Percy about his prophecy, saying that Chiron and Mr. D haven't told him everything they know yet, and teleports away. And this appearance really makes no sense in hindsight, cause him pulling up and telling Percy about the prophecy is the reason he loses in the movie. And there was no reason for him to pull up in the first place, just wanted to make his presence known. You flipping twit. Bro knows nothing about the art of surprise. But the rest of the squad then peeped that the tree that was made by Talia is now dying, causing the barrier to also come down, leaving them vulnerable to attacks from monsters now. With Percy pulling up, telling them that Luke was the one that poisoned the tree. And I swear, him and Harry Potter are really just one in the same. Their whole ideology is, how can I make this about me? I just know everyone on camp hated, bro. But he pulls up on Chiron later that day, asking about the prophecy that Luke told him about, and he takes him up to meet some creepy skeleton woman that tells him all about the prophecy. Over here giving him a whole history lesson about some evil guy named Kronos and how he was defeated by his 3 children, Zeus, Hades and Poseidon, banishing his remains. But he's fated to rise once again, and only one of the half-blooded children from the 3 eldest gods can defeat him, and that child will either be their salvation or the cause of their destruction. Felt like an English teacher saying all that. And since Percy's the only living half-blood child of one of the 3 elder gods, the prophecy has to be talking about him. Got Brody over here stressing, thinking about whether he gon' sell the play or be the reason they win. Gonna be out there looking like these. He thought that was ball game. You suck. But we cut to Grover and Annabeth pulling up on Mr. D and start telling him about the golden fleece, saying that it can heal any living thing. So if they go and grab it, they can heal up the tree and restore the barrier. The only problem with this is that,
I mean, every satyr who's ever gone after the fleece has died.
Grover over here sweating balls. He is not trying to go on this quest, and Annabeth is here trying to force him to. No! But unfortunately, Grover has now fallen to the Snow Bunny mind control, saying that he would do anything for the camp. My brother, there is no need to hide it. We all know why you're doing this. It happens to the best of us. Not me though, stay safe. But Mr. D says no to the plan, saying that it's terrible just to go ahead and steal their whole flow. Word for word, bar for bar. Telling the camp he wants to put a team together to go and get the golden fleece from the sea of monsters to heal the tree. Over here glazing the person he wants to be the leader to go on this quest.
The most violent, the most diabolical, the most dangerous, a beast slayer, a conqueror's conqueror, the goat of all goats.
Clarise. Peep Percy's face, he really thought it was gonna be him. I'm sorry to say it, gang, but you might just be washed. Buddy had his eyes widening with a grin appearing on his face. Get a load of this guy. And like I said before, him and Harry Potter are exactly the same. Cause even after not being chosen, he decides to make it all about him getting the squad together to go and get the fleece anyways. And I ain't gonna lie, I would be so mad if I was Grover, cause no satyr has ever gone on this mission and returned. And luckily some other guy was chosen to go on the quest instead, just for his best friend to tell him to come on it anyways. No, nigga! First he wanted to sell his parlay, now he wants to send him to his demise. Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done. But he ends up going, and later that night as they're trying to sneak out, Tyson pulls up with a bag full of who knows what, just making hella noise. And turns out bro's got all the info on where they're going and how to get the fleece without being hurt, saying that he can speak to the person guarding it since he's also a Cyclops, asking him to hand it over politely. Whole time he's planning to do him like these. So they agree to let him join on the journey, and Annabeth gives him some mist to make him look somewhat normal. Now he's just a white guy with dreads. Give him a comb over and he's good.
He's still a Cyclops.
She's over here just straight hating at this point. There was absolutely no need for this. And just listen to the way she says it.
He's still a Cyclops. He's still a Cyclops. He's still a Cyclops.
With the hard C is crazy. I was saying it like it's a racial slur. My dog, what did he do? But she then starts whistling, calling in a mythical taxi with 3 weird blue women in the driver's seat. They up in the back, and whoever's the one driving the V is really like that, cutting up through the trees in the woods while blind. And disclaimer kids, stay safe on the roads, cutting up is not cool. But turns out all 3 of them only have one eye that they have to share between themselves. That's how it be on me and my homeboys and the group ethicas. It was just my turn the other day. But they all start fighting, sending them into overdrive on accident, and turns out the drivers also know something about Percy's prophecy. I swear everyone knows about this prophecy, but the nigga it's about. That's how it feels being the middle child. You get any piece of information a week late. I got home one day and suddenly had to pack cause we're going on holiday. How much money do we have? But they end up popping out their eye on accident, and Percy uses it as leverage to get them to tell them what they know about the prophecy, just for them to give him a bunch of random numbers, taking back the eye and kicking them out the V for not having enough bread for the trip. Got them over here talking about
business. It's not about the action, it's about business.
But they get some coffee to recharge, and while they're walking, Grover ends up getting grabbed by some hoodlums in broad daylight. You got people in the back having lunch and walking around, and no one even bats an eye. Percy pulls out a sword, and you got people in the back just going about their day. This may as well be London. But they end up teleporting away with Grover before the squad can save him, so they decide to meet up with Luke's father, Hermes, to find out where he is so they can save Grover. And the fall off is crazy. This is what Hermes is supposed to look like. Nigga became a dad and decided to never work out again, obtained the dad bod of doom. But he takes him to the back, switching fits within seconds, and tells the snakes on his staff to go and search where Luke is for them while he gives them a couple items to help them on their quest. A bottle with Rakai's breath in it. You open it up and it releases every word he's ever spoken in smell form, and a box sealer that deletes any matter that you outline with it. The staff then comes back and tells them that Luke is living his life on a yacht called the Andromeda, over here reciting Lil Baby lyrics on the deck. But Hermes tells Percy that he wants him to speak to Luke for him and tell him that he has every right to be mad at him, but he shouldn't be mad at the world. And all I can think of is what a deadbeat father this is. He didn't even try and pull up on Luke himself. He instead asks Percy Jackson, practically his arch nemesis, to say it for him. You fool. But they will pull up to the dock, seeing the yacht, and Tyson over here can speak to Poseidon whenever he wants, calling bro up, asking him to send a massive seahorse to come and pick them up, whereas Percy over here been left undelivered for 28 weeks. The favoritism is crazy. But they get on the seahorse, getting over to the ship. They get inside hiding, trying to make a plan, and not even who, what is in the back? Turn this whole scene into a horror movie, having you like these the entire time. These niggas finna. But they go up the stairs trying to spy on them, just for Frankenstein over here to pull up below, sniffing them out, with the squad disappearing just before he looks over. And while they're running, we finally get a look at whatever this is. Looks like a mix of Casanat and a mutated scorpion. I don't even know what to say. So they get captured, taken to Luke, and bro's over here trying to rizz up the second he sees Annabeth, talking about she looks good. And for no reason in the slightest, he decides to give them a whole show and tell presentation on his whole plan, showing them the remains of Kronos, saying that he wants to resurrect bro. I swear this be the dumbest thing a villain can do, seeing your entire plan back to front, practically giving a nigga the way to find a weakness to it. I'm sorry, but you're bum. But Percy tells him what his father asked him to say,
and he couldn't even tell me himself.
That's what I'm saying. So they get taken to the cells in the ship, and yet again, Annabeth is straight hating.
He's a Cyclops. They're vicious and they're dangerous.
What did he do to make them niggas that mad? But Percy then comes up with the idea to use his powers to make the water around the ship crash into it, allowing Annabeth to grab a hold of the bag with the box sealer inside, which they use to delete the doors of the cells, escaping past Casanat, getting to the top of the ship just to be stopped by whoever the hell this nigga is. Percy tells the two of them to get to the lifeboat, getting ready to squabble.
This nigga is trash.
Got him hitting one of these with Luke inside the ship. Elbow right to the face, and he hits the dash, getting grabbed just to throw Brody off the ship. I feel bad for him. Do you know what's down there? He continues hitting the dash, and nigga, is that Kevin Gates? I don't even know why he hit the jump like that. Over here trying to hit the Wally West mid-fights. Bro, lock in. But he hits a drop kick, weave, pip slap to the face, weave, another one, climbing onto the top of the roof. As Tyson and Annabeth make it to the lifeboat, and this really has to be one of the best things to come out the movie.
What are you doing? Don't walk on my roof.
The look of pure confusion on his face. Don't even care that he's trying to escape. The yacht cost the whole 3 mil. I don't even blame him for real. But instead of getting off the roof, Percy decides to create a whole wall of water, pushing it onto the yacht, turning the whole floor into a slip and slide, and jumps off riding a wave. You can't even lie, this was clean. That boy straight aura farming. Went from a straight bum in the last movie to a water bending master in this one, Katara. But Luke also ends up hopping on the wave as well, trying to get Percy to join his side just to get pushed off the wave into the water, and Percy catching up back to the squad. That's like the only scene in this movie I can't hate on. They was low-key cooking. But they continue on their quest. Tyson's mist ends up wearing off, with Percy telling him to steer the boat for a while, and this is where we find out that the monsters that killed Talia back in the day were Cyclopses, so we now understand why she was being so racist in the movie. But yeah, this still don't excuse her behavior. It's like having a black guy rob you 10 years ago and you seeing this guy and calling him the hard R. It just makes no sense. Shorty been holding in the smoke for about 10 years straight. Swore that next time she saw a Cyclops she was finna do him like these. But Cloud then spawns in above them, and Tyson ends up dropping Rakai's breath in the ocean. Killed about half the population of fish. But as they're floating, a bunch of sharks start to spawn in next to them, just for them to find out these are not sharks but the teeth of whatever this is. So they end up getting eaten, sailing all the way down into his stomach, and end up finding Clarise stuck in there as well with a crew full of zombies. I know damn well these ain't the same niggas from that one Disney movie. Finna stop working and start busting a move. I know you effing lying. But the chain holding them down, stopping them from literally being turned into straight doodle water, ends up breaking. So Percy and Clarise come up with the idea to shoot out the sides of the stomach, creating a hole in the side of it, and they burst out back into the ocean. Got Clarise over here yet again, celebrating like she just won the NBA championship. Heard Percy over here talking about we did it, gave him the side eye of doom. I do not speak French, so after getting out, for some reason Percy is now able to see coordinates in the sea, seeing that they is the same numbers that the old blue ladies gave to him earlier, realizing that this is the way to the island with the fleece. Got the old ladies in the V talking about some
Like that, nigga.
so they head over there, making it to an abandoned amusement park, and pull up to the plummet of death. I wouldn't even know what kind of ride name this is. Got a whole queue list of 0 people. Who wants to go on that? But they take it down, making it to a cave just to have the Cyclops over here tweaking out, throwing things across the room, and they is really just doing Grover wrong this entire movie. Was chilling with the baddest woman in the last one. Now we dressed up like a fanboy from Thailand. Got a couple homeboys wanted to take a vacation down there. I know what kind of man you are. But the reason he's doing this is to trick the Cyclops, who has insanely bad eyesight, into thinking he's also a Cyclops, so he doesn't get turned into Phantom's next dream. We'll have the Cyclops talking about some but the squad call him over, and Clarise is over here taking photos of him like she Gojo. With a look like these, you are not leaving the premises with that device. But they come up with a plan to get the fleece off him, trying to hook it off his body just for him to smell them out. I knew it! But Tyson then pulls up, trying to have a heart-to-heart with bro, asking politely for the fleece, allowing Percy to flip over him, grabbing it off his shoulder, just for bro to get hit with a pimp slap, knocking him into the next room. Or have him completely slumped out. He ain't never had sleep like this in his life. He gon' wake up from his nap 13 years older, drenched in sweat, one sock halfway off and his phone completely dead. What a beautiful sight. Percy then tries to jump away, getting punted down, and this really has to be one of the scariest things I done ever seen. Getting dragged by this? Yeah, just do it, bro. But he throws the fleece to Annabeth, and they are just playing a game of catch at this point, until Grover pulls up, taking off the disguise.
Wait, you're a dude? Well, that explains a lot.
And all I can ask is, Grover, what did you have to endure in this cave for him to say that? Cause bro, what does this explain? Just like a 6'9" guy trying to mess with a 4'11" woman, you can F their little ass dog. But they end up hitting the dash with the fleece, locking Brody inside his own cave just for a quick time event to pull up in the form of Luke. Really camped outside the cave waiting for them to finish the mission just so he could claim the rewards. That sounds like a great idea. But he goes to slime Percy out just for Tyson to jump in the way, getting beamed by the crossbow. Over here saying that Percy would do the same for him as he falls off the cliff into a river, and gang, I ain't even gonna lie, I don't think he would. Whole movie he ain't give a damn about, bro, and now he wants to care?
Get the fuck out of here!
So they get tied up, getting forced to watch the rising of Kronos, and Percy's over here in straight disbelief, saying that he was too wrapped up in himself and didn't even get to call bro brother, and then proceeds to say that Luke now has the fleece cause he gave it to him and he's the one that's going to destroy Olympus.
Is this nigga serious?
How can you become self-aware of what you were just doing and proceed to do it again not 2 seconds later?
You idiot. You're honestly an idiot.
But they will end up voting him group leader for some reason and giving him ownership of the group ethicas as well as some motivation, and Luke puts the fleece on the tomb, starting the resurrection of Kronos. As Percy pulls out his pen, cuts Grover's ties off his hands, allowing him to free the rest of the squad, and they immediately get to the boxing. Weave, block, shoulder check, F out of here. Slip, hold his back pain as he makes it to Luke, and bro is just out here getting handed a kind of whoop ass. I'm talking spin move, elbow to the back, body shot, parry, knocking the sword out with his hand, stopping him from grabbing the fleece and throwing him away. Proceeding to pick him back up, liver shot hits him in the knee and a suplex. Like I said in my other vids, the suplex has to be my favorite move of all time. There isn't another move that holds the same disrespect the suplex does, but he starts choking him out, looking like he's absolutely getting violated. Luke grabs his sword, flipping him around, getting ready to end the fight, and blocked by lifting him up and throwing him about 100 feet in the opposite direction. The absolute clutch plays that I've seen from Tyson in his movie easily makes him top 5, but he says the water healed him since he's the son of Poseidon, and they have his whole heart-to-heart in the middle of a war, with Percy calling him brother and Kronos awakening. I swear they could have done this literally 2 seconds later after Percy had taken the fleece off the team. They are straight dumbasses. But Kronos fully comes back to life, and Luke over here gets straight to glazing just to get picked up and eaten by his own great grandfather. See guys, this is where glazing gets you. Don't glaze, show appreciation. Professor Ronak's in the building, but he gets to sliming out everyone in the vicinity, and like I said before, I have no idea why they doing Grover so dirty in this movie. First he got his parlay sold by Percy, then he was getting one-upped by whoever this guy is, then he gets kidnapped, and then he gets forced to play mommy and daddy with a damn cyclops, and now gets eaten by a million-year-old monster. The way I would have sued the directors with so much efficiency for this scene alone is crazy. But Percy gets to cutting up bro's feet, hitting the Levi, finding out that every time he does so it sends part of him back to the tomb, and also finds out that the sword in his hand is the cursed blade. And after this, I swear the rest of this fight is like 30 seconds long, but at the same time kinda tough. Percy basically playing Mario, having to jump from platform to dodge the swings, and jumping down his chest, slicing bro in half, hitting the superhero landing, with Grover falling out his stomach, landing on the floor, and Luke, yeah, let's just see it did not go as well for bro. But Kronos ends up getting sealed away, they take off the fleece, and just when you think everything is well again, my dog, the fight is over. Why are you still fighting? Whole squad already hit the dash, and Luke is down there getting turned into good eats. This is just pure love of the game at this point. And yeah, this whole scene was practically just a pump fake, cause they killed the monster and just put the fleece on her, healing her back up. I promise you, no one was surprised. But she finally gets over her racism, thanking Tyson for saving Percy, and they go back to camp, putting the fleece on the tree, healing it back up and restoring the barrier as everyone goes back to normal life.
Until
Talia ends up coming back to life due to the power of the golden fleece. And my only question in this whole scene is how those clothes still fit after 10 years. This is what I looked like in Close Up a year ago. This isn't making any sense. But this is now officially the end of the movie, with the question being who will be the savior and destroyer of Olympus, since there are now 2 living children of the elder gods. The end. And all I can say is
This is so
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, this was some straight cheeks, and I ain't even read the books. I'm talking about as a standalone movie, this was decent at best. And I low-key enjoyed the first one, and people said that was bad, so I can only imagine what they said about this. And that fight with Kronos at the end was way too short. That was the whole big bad. They was hyping up the whole movie just for him to be shown for max 5 minutes. But hey, that's enough of my rants. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid. All glory to God, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.